Jeffrey, what's going on? Go heavy.
What's up, Jeffrey?
He came through the challenge. Jeffrey was in the challenge.
What up, Jeffrey?
Dylan's in Colombia. What's up, Dylan? Listen,
Marissa.
we're about to break down how you can earn 6 figures speaking. Now, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. How many of you would be open? Tom's over in New Jersey. That's where I'm from. How many of you would be open to learning how to use your mouth, articulate things, and make 6 figures in a year?
But Nick, I thought you've made like 5 million at this point speaking.
Sí. ¿Por qué? No. Yeah, I've been speaking for 6 to 7 years. I've made a little over $5 million. You've made a lot more money than I have with speaking. How much money have you made? Really put you on the spot.
I mean, at this point, my company and I are worth over 100 million.
Okay, so I'm a little peewee. I'm at 5, maybe 6 million. He's at 100 million. And I would dedicate most of our success to our ability to articulate and communicate ideas. And what we're going to teach you is the one principle that we use, whether it's speaking on stage, whether it's speaking virtually, whether it's leading teams, whatever it is, that will allow you to be able to make 6 figures. Someone dropped 6. Someone dropped 6 figures. If I made 5 million, you can make 6 figures. I can assure you that, right? If he's almost worth over 100 million, you can make 6 figures in a year, all through communication with this one principle. Is there anything you'd like to say before we jump into the one principle that's going to change the game for everybody?
Yeah, I think this principle that you're about to teach them literally has changed my entire perspective of my life. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you to dive in. I think you should just dive right in.
All right, we got 6 figures in the chat. So drop a yes in the chat if you're ready to rock and roll. And if you're not ready, drop a yes in the chat because I'm going to teach it anyway. All right. So the number one, it's a good thing I got one finger. The number one principle that has allowed me to make over $5 million with my voice and him to be his company worth over $100 million is understanding the 3 dimensions of a relationship. Look, he already facts tell, stories sell. You're a phenomenal storyteller. Jeffrey's in the right place at the right time, right? So there are 3 dimensions to a relationship. Someone dropped 3 in the chat. You hold up 3 fingers. I got 1. He's missing fingers too. We're all screwed, right? But hey, we still made some cash and we still impacted lives, right? So the 3 dimensions of a relationship. Now, I'll teach, but I'd love for you to share your insight too because you teach it in a similar way as well. Sure. So the first dimension of a relationship. Now, by the way, let me future pace you here. I'm going to share the 3 dimensions of a relationship and then exactly how you can use it to start talking, serving, and making cash with your voice. And I'm going to invite you to go deeper. I'm going to challenge you to step up, to share your story, to make cash, to make impact, and to go all in, right?
Someone say all in.
All in. So the first dimension of a relationship, the first dimension of a relationship states it's all about
you.
It's all about you or it's all about me, meaning that it's all about my needs. It's all about what I want. And so if me and Ryan are in a brotherhood, we're in a relationship, and Ryan's not serving me, he's not doing anything for me, and my needs aren't being met, what do? I leave, right? I'm out of it. If you're not serving me, if you're not pouring into me, I don't want anything to do with you. Now, how many of you know something, or how many of you know someone who it's all about them? It's all about them. Their needs want to get met. If their needs aren't getting met, they just leave. Is there anything you want to elaborate on the first dimension as well?
Yeah, and the worst part about this type of relationship, and I've been in this style of relationship before. I mean, early on in business, all I could think about was like, how am I going to get my money? How am I going to make decisions that are only going to benefit me, benefit Ryan? And what tended to happen in those types of relationships, people felt used. They didn't feel appreciated. They didn't feel like I really cared about them. And I didn't. I didn't know any better. And most people walking around today, 95% of people walking around today are in their unconscious program, and they're thinking all about them. And why? Because they're in their primal brain. They're in survival. Most people are walking around in survival. And when you're in survival, all you could think about is yourself. So they're not doing it on purpose, but we're teaching you this because once you can unlock this, once you can identify that this is your common program, you're going to realize that you're selling yourself short.
100%. And saying most people don't even know that they're operating in this programming. The most dangerous information is the information you don't know, right? So if we can expose you to this information, your whole life will change. Right? The law of exposure states once you're exposed, you can never be unexposed. So the first dimension of a relationship, it's all about me.
It's all about me.
It's all about me.
And here's the mastery in life. Once you can identify, once you can be conscious about your unconscious programming, that's mastery. And so what we're teaching you is that more than likely you're in a relationship as the first dimension because you're thinking about yourself. You're like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to make this money that I can make so that I can live the life that I want to live? And I get all that stuff. That sounds great. But how I got to where I want to be in my life and how Nick got to where he wants to be is we've made this shift. We've identified this unconscious program.
You know what's sad?
What's that?
Is people will jump into this live and then they will just swipe away, and they're literally missing out on information that can change the whole entire bloodline.
Gold. Gems.
That's that. Right? Let me anchor this. Let me reinforce this for all of you watching. And for all of you watching the replay, the information for you to get wealthy is all around you.
Oof.
The information for you to have a better life, a better relationship, a better body, a better speaking business, whatever it is, the information is all around you, but most people don't want it. And that's the very reason why you can go to YouTube right now and you can look up a Cardi B video and it has 400 million views. And then you go to a video that shows you how to make 7 figures or 6 figures speaking and it's got no views. The information's always been there, but most people don't want the information.
And here's the thing. If 95% of what you're doing is running an unconscious program, that means you're looking at the perspective from some version of your childhood, some version of an old program. So you're not able to see the insights and the awareness that we're talking about because you're stuck in your old program. So we're giving you information. We're giving you insights so that you can shift your perspective and see life through our lens. That's the difference. We step on stage. We are a credible source. People look at us as the authority because our ability to communicate, our ability to articulate our words, our ability to transform and inspire. And see, once you move out of the first dimension of a relationship and you look to serve others and you get out of your own way, that's when it's going to unlock so much potential. You're going to start to see things from a completely different perspective.
100%. So as you evolve, because someone dropped evolve in the chat, as you evolve, then you move into the second dimension of a relationship. Now, how many of you, when you've gotten into business, you've gotten into your 9 to 5, you've gotten into entrepreneurship, you've gotten into personal growth, you've heard the term win-win situations? You want to create win-win situations, right? I was programmed that way.
100%.
For a long time, I was win-win.
And society deems it as appropriate. They say, "Oh, this is equality, right? Like let's have this win-win environment. Let's be fair, right?" And that is the second dimension of a relationship. Society's like, "Yo, let's be fair. Let's keep count. Let's keep score." So let's say Nick and I are in this relationship and we're in the second dimension and we're in this equality or equal relationship. Well, guess what? If I'm keeping score on him and he stops performing at the level that I think is fair, what am I going to do? I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to retract. And here's the thing. As soon as it stops being fair, what happens to the relationship? People stop. They're like, I don't want to be in this anymore. And this is what you call a conditional relationship.
So second dimension of relationship is basically I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yeah.
Meaning that if me and Ryan sat at the table and we were doing a deal, we were building a relationship, and I said, hey, the only way we're doing this relationship is I bring 5 marbles to the table and you bring 5 marbles to the table. But if it's not even, I'm leaving. Now, also, this shows up in intimate relationships too. And the way that this shows up in intimate relationships, and you may relate to it, is like, oh, she didn't do this, so I'm emotionally unavailable for her. Or he didn't take me out to dinner, so I'm going to withdraw my emotions. Or he didn't take out the trash, so I'm not going to do this. And typically, or this is horse trading, it's tit for tat, right? It's a transactional relationship, meaning that if he's not giving me something and I'm not giving him something, if I'm not giving you something and you're giving me something, I leave. Or I didn't explain that great. If you want to elaborate.
No, 100%. And here's the thing about a conditional relationship, right? Is that you're constantly walking on eggshells. But then you may be asking, like, well, how do you put a deal together that's fair? Like, how do you come together and come to terms and be on the same page without keeping score or to be in this conditional relationship? Well, that is the mastery of life, right? As soon as I understand that I have to serve you in this relationship, and it's not all about me, and it's about the people that I'm working with, which is actually the transition into the third dimension of a relationship. And that is actually where the mastery is. That is where the magic lies. And that's, for example, Nick and I here doing this together with you because it's all about serving. It's all about impact, right? And so when you're in this conditional place, you are literally walking on eggshells. So imagine going out there in the workplace, going out there in the world, wanting to serve, wanting to be a speaker, wanting to be a communicator, wanting to grow your business, wanting to make a ton of money, but you're constantly blaming other people for why you're not where you want to be. Because that's what a conditional relationship is. It's like, wait a minute, you didn't do what you said you were going to do, so I'm not going to be who I know I need to be now.
And that's why I'm not successful.
Yeah, and then we blame, and then we're like a victim. We have this victim mindset.
And sorry, someone in the chat, because I just want to touch on this. Someone in the chat was like, people don't stay for the information because they don't believe that they can do it. Well, guess what? If you don't believe that you can do it, borrow your mentor's belief.
100%.
I didn't have belief in the beginning. I had someone who believed in me more than I believed in myself. One of the greatest gifts that I was given was I was in proximity with someone who saw a gift in me that I didn't see in myself. And so the truth is, we can sit here and be like, well, I don't believe the information works. Go find someone who will believe in you. And the truth is, when students come into the challenge, when students come into our events, when they come into the coaching program, whatever it is, oftentimes they don't have the belief. And I have to build the belief, or they can borrow my belief. But also, if you don't have the belief, if you agree with me, let me know. Typically, it's a focus problem. If you don't have the belief that information can work, typically we are focused on all the reasons why it's not going to work versus all the reasons why it can. Most humans walk around with all their arms and all their legs, focusing on all the reasons why they can't become a speaker, why they can't make six figures, why no one would listen to them, why their story's not powerful, rather than asking the question of what makes me valuable, or why can I be successful? Why not me? When's the last time you asked yourself the question, why not me? Why not me?
Any decision that you make, at the core of it, is anchored to your belief system. So if you are not where you want to be in your life, financially, emotionally, physically, it has everything to do with what you believe about that situation. And as he's mentioning, the focus, if you don't believe you can, then you're not going to focus on what is possible or the steps that you can take to actually achieve the outcome. And so Nick's doing a challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. I want you guys to sign up. Challenge yourself. Be a part of this community. Be a part of truly transforming your life. Because here's the thing, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you cannot, you're telling the truth. Because at the core of it, it's your belief system. And that is a big reason why I've been able to get where I'm at today in my life. Because without a shadow of a doubt, I am going to believe that I can do it. And if I fail, I'm just going to believe that it just wasn't my time yet. And I just keep getting up. And you hear Rocky Balboa say, right? It's not about getting knocked down. It's about getting knocked down and getting back up and keep going. And that is where your belief systems are.
100%. So as we transition from the second dimension, if you're ready, click the link. Someone said I'm ready, right? Click the link. By the way, most people don't get in the room. By the way, it's virtual. You can do it from the confines of your home. You spend 5 days with me. I'm going to show you exactly how to transform lives. I'm going to show you how to make a ton of money speaking. Yo, listen, you guys already talk enough. You might as well get paid for it.
Guys, listen. He's about to transition to the third dimension, and I just want to frame this for you guys. Nick and Ratmir, Nick's partner, spoke to me till I was blue in the face about becoming a transformational communicator, speaking on stage, making offers. And he told me this back in 2020. It delayed 3.5 years. And when I finally made my first offer, I did $270,000 my first month. And why am I saying this? Because he only cared about serving me. He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. Ratmir saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and he pushed me. He's like, Ryan, you have so much knowledge. You have so much insight. You've been sober for 22 years. You have 600 employees. Dude, you absolutely crush it. There's no reason why you should not have a knowledge-based product attached to your organization. And if he wasn't living in the third dimension of a relationship, I would not be sitting right here, right now in Colombia next to him talking to you. And so why don't you tell me what the third dimension is?
So the third dimension of relationship states your needs are my needs.
Ooh.
Your needs are my needs, meaning that if I identify his needs.
Well, you're saying I can't be selfish no more?
No, you can't be selfish anymore.
What
if I'm going to stop. What if I were to tell you that you're supposed to be here to be an offering?
Woo.
What if I were to tell you that the reason why you don't have the money that you want in your bank account is because you're focused on yourself and not how you can build yourself into the greatest man or woman and give yourself to the world? You must understand that this human experience is not only for you, but it's for all the people that you can save because of the fires that you went through, because of the traumas that you've healed, because of the things that you built, because of the things that you've overcome. There are people out there waiting for you to throw them a life raft. But because you're selfish, you only want to save yourself. Now, I have the belief, by the way, I'm not even supposed to be here. They wanted to kill me. They wanted to abort me. They said I'd never dress myself. I'd never feed myself. I'd never be independent. Now those doctors are dead and I'm rich. Right? So the third dimension of relationship states is your needs are my needs.
Mm.
So, and if I meet his needs, my needs get met. So meaning that if I observe Ryan, or even if I ask him, hey, what are your needs? How can I serve you? He's going to give me data on how I can over deliver for him. Okay, don't miss this. Is there anything you want to add to the third dimension relationship? Because I'm going to tie it in how you can use the third dimension relationship, use your voice, and then make 6 figures. 6 figures is light, by the way. 5 million. He's worth, the company's over 100 million. We have students making hundreds of thousands of dollars, all of these things.
Here's what's really interesting about this is, as I was talking about the second dimension, right? Like this equality or this equal type of relationship. Well, what's interesting about the third dimension of relationship, and when I'm looking to meet your needs, in order for me to meet your needs, the caveat for this is that I have to have my cup full. I have to be full myself, or I'm never going to be able to serve you. So you have to actually have a discipline in your life that is going to keep you at a level where you're always going to be able to serve other people. That's why everything is energy. Nick talks about it. Everything is energy. And if your cup is not full, you're never going to be able to serve at the third dimension of a relationship. That's why this is an oxymoron, because it's like, yes, your needs are my needs, but I have to have my cup full. That means I have to take care of myself. That means I have to do the cold plunge. That means I have to journal. That means I have to pray. That means I have to do the right thing. That means I have to literally take care of myself, take care of my emotional state in order for me to serve. I would not be able to sit here with you guys right now at 11 o'clock in Colombia time to serve you, because we are conditioned. Our emotional state is so conditioned because we have filled our cup. We've done well over hundreds of seminars. He's spoken on thousands of stages because our conditioning is at a premium. It is at a mastery level. And that is how you truly serve others.
100%. Now, a few things. The first thing is, someone said share the list of the students. I'll start naming them off. I put the testimonials on there, and I hope it's coming from a loving place, but if it's not, let me call you out. Your brain is already focused on the evidence that it's not real, that it's not going to work, that it's fake, that it's fugazi, and that's your brain talking you out of growth. People are so skeptical. You're so skeptical. The reason why you're skeptical is because no one in your life has ever made 6 figures. Oh, I'm sorry. The reason in your life, the reason why you're skeptical is because you, my friend, have no evidence that it's truly possible. So let me give you evidence that it's truly possible. Nicole, Michelle Drew, Tarek Chaudhry, who else is in the group? Ryan Zofe. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars were Damon. Damon's a student of mine. He said it's working, right? I mean, there's literally there's students in here right now that are making cash with their voice, right? So your needs are my needs. He said, oop, right? Your needs are my needs. Now, how do we transition this into speaking? Well, someone said it's true. No one I know makes 6 figures.
100%. And here's 100%. The thing.
Because there's no evidence, right? And by the way, let me just say this, and they're probably watching this. I love you, but where I grew up, I was middle class. He was po. He wasn't poor. He was po. He couldn't even afford the OR, right? He was po, right? We were the ones that changed the game for our bloodline.
In your formative years between 1 and 8 is when the model of your world is being adopted. So if you didn't grow up with parents that taught you how to make money, that's just the way it is. That is your belief system. That is your model of your world. So you can't expect to be introduced to something and be like, wait a minute, I could do that. That's possible for me. And that's why we're doing this. That's why we're here serving you. And this is the third dimension of a relationship. And see, this is what Nick's about to step into and show you how you can turn this into a 6, 7, even an 8-figure business, communicating. Because here's the thing, guys, I was able to scale my business because I was able to be a leader. I was able to come in and influence my team to be better versions of themselves. So think about this, right? Like right now in this moment, think about where you are. Take a snapshot of who you are as a human being. If you want to make more money as a human being, you have to become more valuable. Imagine if every single person you came in contact with experienced you 10 times more valuable than you are now. You would get 10 times more value in return. And so here's the thing. The journey to become a transformational communicator is challenging. It pushes you to become a better human being. And that's what this is all about, guys. So at the core of this, we're teaching you how to elevate your game, how to be a better human being. And once you become a better human being, then it's like you want to give it to the world. Has there ever been a time in your life when you had like this really cool secret and you just couldn't wait to share with people you love. Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're like, hey guys, hey over here, this shit works. This shit's working. Oh my God, you can do it too. But guess what? You're like, my dad didn't teach me that. And my friends that I grew up with, they don't believe that. And everybody that I'm around, they don't believe that. Well, change your circle.
Change your proximity, right? So if third dimension relationship is your needs or my needs, now how do we transition to make six figures speaking? Well, I think Tony taught us. Tony's our mentor, Tony Robbins, right? And he taught us that progress equals happiness. So for the first things first is I would suggest that you become an expert in something. By the way, there's Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy?
What up, Jeremy?
Most of you are I'm going to go there. Most of you are an expert in like complaining. Most of you are an expert in excuses. I would shift that. And I would become an expert in something that you're really passionate about, because the truth is I get paid a lot of money to speak about what I love. I get paid to speak about communication. I get paid to speak about psychology, and I get paid to speak about how you can make money. Right. And so the first things first is, if you dig your well deep of knowledge, and you commit, I don't care if it's finance, I don't care if it's crypto, I don't care if it's taxes, I don't care if it's real estate, I don't care if it's communication, psychology, theta healing, inner child healing, whatever it is, but dig your well deep, because competence equals confidence. It is easier to speak about something that you know. Wait, hold on. You mean to tell me that it's actually easier to communicate about a topic that you actually know?
Check this out. Ready? So 2 options. I'll give you $100,000. That's option 1. Or option 2, I'll put you in a time machine and you can go back 5 years and speak to yourself 5 years ago, and give the experience, the knowledge, the insights, and the awarenesses that you have today. So you literally can go back in time. Every time I ask this question, everybody says they'd prefer to go back 5 years. So you just proved to yourself that your knowledge, your information is worth more than $100,000. You just proved it to yourself. Now all you have to do is go out there in the workplace and start making offers, start communicating from stage so people even know you exist.
Because, as our mentor would say, people are ready to pay you hand over fist. They just don't know you exist. What's up, Landon? A lot of you are brilliant. A lot of you have built things. You've overcome things. You've healed things. You walked a specific path. What if I were to tell you that life has already qualified you? You see, some of you, the reason why you don't jump in and the reason why you don't speak is because you're like, who will listen to me? Or sometimes you don't even get in the room because you don't feel worthy of it, right? Or sometimes you don't get in the room because you don't think it's possible. Life has already qualified you. And by the way, some of you may be thinking too, well, Nick, I can't become a speaker. I can't make money speaking because I don't have no legs of an arm. No legs of an arm doesn't relate to anybody. Climbing Mount Everest doesn't relate to anybody. But what does relate to everybody is an ordinary story. Your ordinary story is actually extraordinary because it connects with ordinary people just like you, right? And so moving into how you can make 6 figures is when you adopt the third dimension of relationship in this lens, you start identifying the needs of people. You can take the people that follow you. You can take the people around you. You can take the people in your circle, in your proximity. You can ask them, what do you need? What challenges are coming up for you? What are your roadblocks? Where are you now? Where would you like to be? And guess what? Your people are going to give you the gold. They're going to give you their challenges. They're going to give you their problems. And then you can take their problems, you can take their challenges, and you can position a talk around it. You can position an interview around it. You can go on podcasts and share that insight and save someone's life. You realize people are one question or one piece away from a whole entire different life. You, my friend, are capable of sparking a question that's going to change someone's life. You, my friend, are fully capable of sharing insight that's going to change someone's life. Oftentimes, we think we need to be a million steps ahead in order to help someone, when in reality, you only need to be a few steps or a few hops in front of someone in order to turn around and condense time for other people. You see, people who have the growth mindset understand that success rewards speed. You see, broke people use their time to get money. Successful people understand that they use their money to get their time back.
Buy back your time.
We're literally buy back our time, right? So with speaking, if I'm trying to land a speaking engagement, I'm not going to say, hey, listen, Mr. Event Organizer, this is what I can do. No, I'm going to say, what challenges are your people going through? What struggles do they have? What message would you like me to help them with? And I'm going to identify that person's needs, and then I'm going to package my talk around the event organizer's needs. And guess what? Only 5% of speakers operate out of the third dimension of relationship. The truth is, I'm calling you all out. Most of you speakers in this industry, are just on stage because it makes you feel good and you want the significance, you want people to clap for you. But then you have the 5% of speakers that are transformational, that are there to actually serve the people, and understanding that it's all about the crowd and it's all about the crowd, it's not about you, right? And by the way, when you go and ask your people what their needs are, you can then serve them at a deeper level. When you ask podcast hosts how you can serve them, you can have an incredible interview. When you ask event organizers and people that host events in person or virtual what their needs are, you can then get the data and create an amazing talk around what they need. Who would have thought? You see, oftentimes we try to create things based off of what we think people need rather than just asking the people. The very reason why I have the Unleash Your Story Challenge, which, by the way, it's going down in a couple of days. It's virtual from the confines of your home. For 5 days, I'm going to teach you how to make money when you talk. I make a whole lot of money when I talk. My students make a whole lot of money when they talk. I'm going to show you how to make money when you talk. I'm going to show you how to package and position a transformational keynote. I'm going to show you how to close keynotes, whether it's virtual, in person, and I'm going to literally give you the whole entire foundation of my business. I don't hide anything. I give you my whole entire business. In the 5 days, right? And by the way, we've never done this. Actually, click the link. I'm not even going to tell them what this surprise is.
Yeah, click the link in the bio. And Nick, you just said you want to learn how to make money doing this. Go for it. Click the link, join up, be at the challenge, because being in the right room is literally what changed my life, which is how I met Nick. I met Nick back in 2019. He was speaking on Tony Robbins' stage. I literally it was funny on the way, we were literally coming back from dinner. And I was like, dude, I would not be here right now if it wasn't for you. By me being in proximity, by you pushing me to become a transformational speaker, by you being in my life, has me in Colombia with you right now. And so it's crazy, guys. Like, looking backwards at my life, I realize, man, I've experienced so many unbelievable things because I stepped into this role as a thought leader. And here's the thing, guys. Look at anybody that's making a ton of money. They all have this one thing in common. They know how to communicate. And they know how to communicate at a way where they're the authority. They are able to use their voice to make money. And Nick is literally the best in the world. You want to learn from this guy. You want to be there.
And by the way, I appreciate that. And by the way, because I was in a third dimensional relationship and I served him, he served me and brought me into a deal inside his business that made me a ton. He laughs. A ton of money. He literally was like, hey, just sign here. He's like, I want to gift this to you. I'm like, for what? He's like, just because who you are. Yeah. And so that's, by the way, this is leveraging the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity states that if I do something amazing for him, if he's a good person, he's probably going to feel compelled to do something for me. It's just a law. It's just a law, right? So you can earn 6 figures speaking by, let's recap here, 6 figures speaking by becoming a well of knowledge in a specific industry. Asking your people, asking everybody around you, how can I serve you? What are your needs? What are your challenges? Is there anything that I can do for you? And then take the data that they give you and then create something, create a talk, create stories, create an offer, create something. But now you're serving people. And when you serve people, you can serve your way to the top. Ooh. I've dedicated like 7 years of my life to serving other people. That's what results in me generating over $5 million with my voice. Now, by the way, I was the kid with no legs of an arm my whole entire life that was like, I'll never be independent. I'll never make money because I don't have legs and I don't have arms. And who would have thought that the one thing that I wasn't focused on, my voice and my ability to communicate, would be the one thing that would change my whole entire bloodline. Now, I don't say that to impress you. I say that there's a lizard right there. I don't say to impress you. I say that to impress upon you. Oh, we're doing a keto here. Hold on. A keto. There's mosquitoes here.
Bugs.
Because every day that you don't share your story and your insights, someone out there is suffering because they haven't met you yet. You see, never in the history of the world has there been someone that jumped on an Instagram Live, maybe some of you, but jumped on an Instagram Live, plugged in a podcast to their ear, went into a stadium and saw someone speak and was like, I can't wait for this speaker to drop the ball. People are waiting for you to give them a golden nugget that's going to save their life. People are waiting for you to give them a piece of wisdom, a question, a piece of insight, a strategy that is going to change their life.
And they want to pay you. That's the thing, guys. Like, I don't like waiting in line. I will pay a premium to skip the line. And so that means if somebody has information that will save me time, I will pay a premium. I don't look at how much something costs. I look at how much something is worth to me. And if I could save hours of my time, I am going to pay for it. I don't want to wait. I want to get it now. And that's how you condense time. Literally 5 years, I've 10x my life in 5 years. The first 15 years of my entrepreneurial business, what I've done in 5 years literally is 3 times what I've done in the first 15 years, because I understood this principle: the ability to communicate, the ability to buy back my time, the ability to collapse time, the ability to literally be in proximity of somebody and adopt their habits, adopt their mindset, adopt their belief systems, and move much faster and actually become much better at the skill. And that's exactly what Nick's doing for you. So click the link below. You're going to want to be at this challenge.
Now what's funny is it's only $47. What I drop in the challenge, like I'll put it this way, and I don't even think my team was. They're like, hey, like just don't tell them price, because it's actually a no-brainer, and it's a little cheap, but it's because I want as many people as I can inside there. Now check this out.
So you're saying it's only a couple of cups of coffee?
Well, yeah, I mean, people spend that on cigarettes, they spend it on Coca-Cola. Now, by the way, check this out. That's right, Damon. Damon's. By the way, Damon came through the group. Damon came through the challenge. Then he joined the program. We're not even talking about the program, but Damon came through the challenge. He was a student. And he's just murdering it. He's in prisons doing prison talks, and he's gonna get his books. His books are in prison. He's gonna get a curriculum. He's been crushing it. Right now, check this out. Well, Nick, how do I save people? Well, if you have a 6-pack, go teach people how to get a 6-pack. I'll pay a ton of money to get
100%.
Yeah, right now, especially right now. Been eating too much food out here. If you have a 6-pack, go teach people how to get healthy. Go pay a premium for that. If you are really good at taxes, please give us the information, because we want to be better at taxes.
Save money.
Right? If you're good at crypto, go teach people crypto. If you've healed inner child trauma, go teach people how to heal inner child. I mean, like, what is it worth to you to get a 6-pack? What is it worth to you to heal inner child trauma? What is it worth to you to become a speaker? Like, all of these results, people will pay for them, right? So what I'm calling you forth to do is scary. And it's not for everyone, but for a few of you, this Unleash Your Story challenge is actually perfect. This is for people who want to make money speaking about their knowledge, speaking about their expertise, speaking about the things that they've healed. And guess what? We teach you how to do it where you want it. You can travel the world. We also teach it if you just want to sit your booty in your home right now, virtually, go on interviews, go on virtual stages, impact lives, and make cash. Our students make money when they talk.
It's so incredible. And here's the thing: if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, and you don't have a knowledge-based product and you're not out there communicating this, you're missing out on 2 things. First, you're missing out on profits. Second, you're missing out on being the authority in your space. See, once you become the innovator, the trailblazer in your market, people are going to look at you as the leader. They're going to look at you as the expert. And if you have a knowledge-based product to teach them, they're going to pay you. That's exactly how I made $270,000 my first month. I'm in the drug and alcohol rehab business. I went to other drug and alcohol rehab business owners and said, hey guys, I know how to scale businesses in multi-states. I know how to do call centers. I know how to build a business development team. I know how to do talent acquisition. Do you guys want to pay me? And I'll show you. And they said, heck yeah, we'll pay you. And they paid me. And that's exactly how I made $270,000 my first month doing this.
By the way, he was an expert for a long time before even.
I've been in the business for 10 years. It took me 10 years to get to this place, to do it, to make the offer, just to communicate it.
So listen, for those that are serious and not curious, click the link in the bio. We're also throwing in a VIP. So even just general admission gets VIP, which is crazy, which is question and answer, a lot of time with me, live proximity. It's incredible. But if you want to take your testimony and make cash, if you want to take your expertise and make cash, if you want to introduce yourself to a version of yourself you haven't met yet, because this could be challenging, it could be scary, it's going to be hard. But if you're willing to suck long enough to be great at this, life will never be the same for you. And not only your life will never be the same, but your whole entire bloodline will change. Could you real quickly, just like a snapshot of like what your family looked like, where you came from, and what it is now?
Yeah, sure. I want you guys to imagine a 5-year-old little boy, his terminally ill sister dies. His parents and entire family unit were destroyed as the result of. Parents divorced. Mom ended up in the arms of an abuser who stabbed her 13 times. Getting hospitalized for 6 months only to get out and get back in the same arms of that abuser. I was left to survive on my own physically and emotionally. Years of neglect led me to a life of multiple juvenile detention visits, peaking October 8th, 2001, when I was proclaimed dead at the scene of a crime. Clearly, God had a different plan for me. Yet, the judge was still, and I was still facing 25 to life. I want you guys to listen closely. The judge gave me one more chance. And when things are their darkest, chance actually means choice. I chose a program, I chose a sponsor, and because of those choices, I'm sitting here today with 22 years of sobriety.
Someone dropped 22 in the chat.
22.
22 years
Here's
of
the thing,
sobriety.
guys. You chose to be here right now with us. That's not by chance. Now, take this moment, make the decision, the choice here and now to join this challenge so your life will change forever. Guys, like me, where do you want to be sitting in 22 years as a result of just one choice? See, your decisions will truly shape your destiny. Making this decision today to join this challenge will literally change your life forever. And I know that because it's changed mine.
It's just incredible. And like, guys, 7 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm glad you meet me now. I'm glad you're meeting us at this version. We're the greatest versions of yourself right now. And so I can give you the most. So take a chance. Take a chance. Step up. Jump in. And I even say this. If you feel that you don't get 10x the value over the 5 days with me virtually, I'll give you your money back. And by the way, I'm going to be direct here, and I'm going to try to be heart-centered here. My team, I'm going to be heart-centered. The ticket that you're going to buy, that money ain't going to change my life. I'm already wealthy. But it's going to change your life because you're going to have skin in the game, and you're going to show up to something, and you're going to be attentive, you're going to learn, and I can assure you, you're going to have breakthroughs, you're going to have shifts, and you're going to be given strategies and tools that will allow you to make money. To make what? Money when you speak. There's very few places that I go. I won't. Every time that I open up my mouth, money comes into the bank account. And that's the skill that I want to give to you, right? Actually, let me do this a little bit, right? How many of you in the chat right now, how many of you, and if you're watching the replay, drop in the chat because I'll see it. How many of you know how to make a hamburger?
Woo!
You know how to make a hamburger?
Yeah.
Who knows how to make it? If you know how to make a hamburger, drop a yes in the chat. Let's see what we got. You know how to make a hamburger.
Yeah.
Now, how many of you can make a better hamburger than McDonald's? Can you make a better hamburger than McDonald's?
If you could draw a hamburger on a piece of paper, you could do a better hamburger than McDonald's.
Right? So if I know how to make a hamburger, do you think I could teach Ryan how to make a hamburger?
Of course.
So what you're telling me is that we're both smart individuals. You listening this, right? You're all smart individuals, right? Do you agree that one intelligent person can transfer knowledge to another intelligent person? Are you in agreement with that?
100%.
Right? So if I have knowledge, do you believe that I can give you? That's good. I don't go to McDonald's either, right? Just play with me.
But ready? Right? And watch this. McDonald's actually sells the most hamburgers. Why is that? Because they moved first. They got to the market first.
It did. That's good. It gives me heartburn, right? Right? So you're telling me that one intelligent person can transfer information to another intelligent person. In the Unleash Your Story Challenge, I'm going to lay it all out on the line and give you all of the tools, all of the strategies, and most importantly, the psychology that will allow you to make thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, or like me, 7 years in, over $5 million created by using your God-given voice. And all of the hardship. What if this was the moment that you realize all of the things that you went through, you actually went through them so you can give them to the world and save others?
I love that. Let's see the hat. Miracle worker.
Miracle worker.
See the hat.
What if this was the moment that you realized, like, wow, I actually am glad that I went through all of those traumas. I'm actually glad that I built that business. I'm actually glad that I've healed that thing. I'm actually glad that I've walked through the fire because now I can save other human beings. And when you save other human beings, I can assure you, you're not only going to make money, you're making a lot of money, but you're going to be fulfilled, which is the emotional state that we're all chasing.
Ooh, fire.
The link is in the bio.
Guys,
do not miss it.
There's ROI, return on investment, and there's COI, cost of inaction.
Oh,
COI, cost of inaction. Once I realized that I want to spend my money to get return on my investment, instead of wasting my money on cost of inaction, my entire life changed. Guys, it's $47 with a guarantee of a refund if you don't think you got 10 times the value. That is considered COI, cost of inaction. You want to be here, guys. Click the link in the bio. Join the 5-day challenge. Literally take your God-given gift and share it to the world and make a ton of money doing it.
Cash. Someone drop cash in the chat. Right? And the truth is, everybody wants to make money. And we made a whole lot of money. What's even beautiful about making a whole lot of money is we made a whole lot of money serving others.
That's the best part.
Serving others. There's so many people that make a ton of money, not helping anybody, just focus on themselves, hiding, maybe making money in a not so good way, which we probably both did that, made money in a not so good way.
And guys, think about this. Before we got on this actual live, we were sitting here talking and we're like, man, I don't feel like doing this. I feel like going to bed. But guess what? There's this innate mechanism inside of us that is calling us because we're so conditioned to serve. There may be somebody that heard us tonight that is actually going to join this challenge that will change their life forever. And if we don't do this, that is what you call COI, cost of inaction. And so once you've conditioned yourself and you show up in the third dimension of a relationship and you're looking to serve other people's needs, your whole life changes. Your whole life changes. That's how we've been able to get the level of success that we have. So click the link, guys. Join the challenge. You don't want to miss this.
And with this, you are, and I've said it earlier, you're one piece of information from a whole different life. Oof. You are one piece of information from a new way of serving, a new way of living, a new way of talking, a new way of communicating. And I'll end with this as well. You know it to be true. When you see someone on an interview, when you see someone on stage, when you see someone on a podcast and they can speak, you immediately think they are extremely valuable because they can communicate. It's one of the sexiest skills. And your value in the marketplace increases because not many people take the time to learn how to communicate and articulate. Warren Buffett said one of his greatest investments was his investment in his communication and his ability to communicate and articulate his ideas to inspire people to take action. And the truth is, you can do it. And the reason why I know you can do it is because if you go on YouTube and you look at my old videos, I sucked. He especially sucked. He was really bad, right? You can just scroll down on Instagram and see how bad you are, but I'll leave you here with this. If you're willing to suck long enough to be great at this, you're going to make a lot of money and you're going to impact lives. But most importantly, you're going to change your whole entire lineage. You see, I call this a lineage leader. There's one person every 60 to 80 years inside your bloodline that changes the game for everybody. Maybe this is the time that you learn some skills so you can change your whole entire bloodline. Listen, I wasn't supposed to make it out. He was dead. He overdosed. We're definitely not supposed to be here. And now we're here serving others, making a whole lot of money. Most importantly, our families will have lives that we didn't have.
100%.
They'll have opportunities, they'll have networks, they'll have resources, and they'll have skills. And by the way, I know I said I'll end with this, but I'm a speaker. You get fired up when you're serving people. They can take, and I don't know who they is. We don't need to go, I won't put on my tinfoil hat. But they can take away your car, they can take away your house, they can take away your family, they can take away your chains and your assets, whatever it is, but they can never take away the information you have inside your brain. The truth is, both of us, our whole entire organizations and our companies could crumble. They could take it away. But we've already become the person. We already have the knowledge, so we build it back. And we probably build it back faster and we build it back
100%.
better. So give yourself a shot. Get
Click
in
the
the
link
room.
in the bio. Click the link, guys. Join it. $47. Can't miss it. If you're not satisfied at the end, we're going to give you your money back. You're gonna
Actually, I'm going to call Ryan. He's richer, so I'm going to give him less. Send in love, guys. I hope you got value
Love
from
you
this.
guys.
Hey, if you're watching the replay, play full out. If you have any questions, you can DM me, but all of the information is in the link. Unleash Your Story Challenge. Let's get your testimony out into the world. Let's make some cash.
Love you guys.
See you soon. And this one.